what got you involved with open educational resources, and where did the involvement of North Dakota University System begin?
In 2013, I was a brand new person at the NDUS office, and we got a request from the legislature, and they asked that we look into the use of more open textbooks and open resources to save students money. And it was during the session, and I was new, so they said, Tanya, just you do this. So I worked with a work group, and there were people on that team from institutions. There were provost, students, faculty members. We had a lot of folks taking different sections and researching what open textbooks were. And we put together a white paper and gave it back to the legislature that year. And it was called Open Textbook Report, Availability, Affordability, Quality, and Academic Freedom. Once that report was finished and the session ended, I kept thinking somebody needed to finish the project. And because I was new, I sort of waited around and asked questions like, who is going to do this? Someone needs to finish this. And at some point I realized that person was me. So throughout the next interim, I really did a lot of research, went to conferences that I could get to, and learned as much as I possibly could about open textbooks and open educational resources. And then during the interim, Higher Education Funding Committee, during the interim, that's when I presented the ideas for this project and where North Dakota could go to save students money on textbook costs.
From what I gathered, there was quite a bit of excitement from the legislature for this initiative.
Yeah, I was surprised at how well received the ideas were. The legislators themselves were the ones who thought of saving students money, and one of the big proponents of it was Thomas Beadle. But I don't know if anybody really had an idea of how it was going to get implemented or how it could be actually done. It was just a conceptual idea at the time. And so I think what made them really excited is that I provided a plan, like this is how it could actually get done. And you're right, it was really well received.
Okay. Beyond just the conceptual phase, there is at least one university that's doing this already, and that's the University of Minnesota. So the North Dakota University System is now partnered with U of M and the Open Textbook Network, is that correct?
Right.
And how does that partnership look? What does it involve?
So during the research time, when I was looking around to see who was doing this across the United States, I just came across tons of information. I mean, if you just Google search open educational resources, you can come up with millions of hits of pure garbage, really. But the project that stood out as something really credible and useful is the Open Textbook Network and the Open Textbook Library at University of Minnesota. So I got on the phone and called Dave Ernst at the University of Minnesota. He's the CIO and he's a faculty member there. And I said, how can we get involved? How can I be part of this? And so over the course of the past 2 years, since 2013 to 2015, we've been collaborating, working together, planning and strategizing, and in just this last few months, we were able to join the Open Textbook Network, which is a collection of over 75 well-known institutions, including University of Arizona, Cleveland State University, Ohio State University, Cal Poly, just some really big names like Purdue, and we're very lucky and excited to add North Dakota University System to that list and join the network of a lot of professionals who have great ideas and will be contributing to the library there.
Okay. There's a lot of cost savings that are proposed with this initiative, and Are there any dollar figures out there, say with University of Minnesota, of how much they've potentially saved students?
Right. So the University of Minnesota already has saved their students over $500,000. So $500,000 in just a very short amount of time. And this was done with just a few professors. So to give you an example of how the return on investment goes rather quickly for open educational resources and open textbooks, I did a pilot study here with a couple of professors at Lake Region State College this past year. And one of the professors, her name is Michelle Murphy. She teaches Biology 111, Concepts of Biology. And normally her students pay $166.39 per textbook, per student. So I asked if she would consider an open textbook, and she adopted one that was free. And for her 17 students in just one class, she saved $28.63. So $2,800 for these 17 students. Mm-hmm. So if you multiply that class by 5 classes, all of a sudden we're at $10,000. And then, I mean, it just goes very quickly. And one of the things that Dave Ernst always says at the University of Minnesota, he just says, do the math. The numbers just don't lie.
Excellent. And so far, I would imagine that this instructor is very pleased with the results, and that would translate to other faculty being interested and encouraged to participate in OER. Has there been a lot of interest in the upcoming institute in Valley City State University, and can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. The exciting thing about use of open textbooks and open educational resources is that while it saves cost for students, it also gives faculty a lot of control over their course content. So faculty are the keepers of the curriculum, and this gives them one more option or a whole lot of other options to make their courses more interesting by adding all kinds of different kinds of resources, including videos and simulations and chapters and all textbooks that are open and freely licensed. So faculty who are interested in doing those things are excited about the Institute coming up. We're having 3 days of workshops at Valley City State University, and faculty will be coming from all over the university system. The first day is for campus leadership teams, and that could consist of a technologist or a lead faculty member or a librarian. Whoever on the campus will own this project for each individual campus. And then on the 7th, faculty are going to attend a workshop. So up to 5 per campus, and faculty who attend and then also write a review, a peer review of an open textbook, they'll receive a $200 stipend, so that's exciting. We want our faculty members to vet the books, give their honest opinion, and join in with the peer reviewers from other institutions to talk about the quality of the textbooks. And honestly, it's not my place to judge the quality of a biology textbook because I'm not a biology professor. And so we really want the biology professors to come in, vet the quality, decide for themselves if this is a product that they would actually use for their students. And then on Thursday, October 8th, I'm inviting all of the distance education directors, technologists, instructional designers to come in, and we'll talk about integration of the textbooks because they're a digital format, and the folks who are used to working with technology on the campuses, they'll have to be sort of a background support for faculty as they adopt and adapt these open textbooks and resources.
Excellent. And you're speaking as well at this institute.
That's right. I'll be leading a lot of the sessions and collaborating with the presenters. I think that the thing that I bring to it is a whole lot of enthusiasm for the project and just a real love for North Dakota and the students, and I'm excited to see the past 2 years of work and efforts and research finally coming to fruition.
It's a very encouraging time.
It is. There's stakeholders all over the state who are interested in reducing the cost of attendance for students, and thankfully the legislature put their money where their mouth is, and they funded this project for $110,000. I'm doing research and collecting data so that I can come back and show them that they made a good investment. I'm hoping to show a huge return for the state and for the students.